There is a wealth of art and craft supplies in the world, and sometimes that can just be a little bit overwhelming. So I decided just to simplify things, have a little think, and think what 5 things do I genuinely reach for time and time and time again every single time I create, whether that be an art journaling or a mixed media project. So I'm going to give you my top 5 right now. And if you're in the need of a little bit of simplification, you may find that useful. So number 1 for me is an art journal. Very much an essential part of my creative kit. I enjoy art journaling, but not only that, is art journaling is a safe space. For me, my art journal is where we practice, where we learn, where we develop new skills, where we try out new supplies. It's a safe place. You can make ugly art, you can do the learning curve, and nobody needs to see it. Then the skills that you learn in your art journal, you can take on to other projects, other artworks, mixed media projects, etc, etc. So I genuinely, every time I create, use a art journal. Now this one tends to be my go-to. This is the Pink Pig A6 journal. I think it's not too overwhelming. It's a nice size where you can create some lovely artwork, but it's also not so big that you kind of get feed of the blank page. So I do use this a lot, as you can see, because of these are my finished journals, and they're all Pink Pig ones. My only other finished journal is this one. Ooh. But you can kind of see that every single time I create, I'm obviously reaching for that one. So that is definitely my go-to journal. Having said that, I do have some other ones that I'm currently very in love with. One of those is the Caddy Fat Journal. That is absolutely gorgeous, and I am currently loving using this one. So this is a brand new journal that I actually handmade out of an old planner, and this is really fun to use. So journal, definitely on my list. So the second thing that I tend to reach for every single time that I create is acrylic markers. Discovered them last year, and now literally they come out every single time I create. So these are my markers of choice. These are the Shuttle Art acrylic markers. They have a lovely brush nib, which I'm a brush nib girly. I definitely prefer, I seem to get more control with a brush nib. But the reason, I'm going to put these down because they're very rattly. The reason I love these acrylic markers is because you can get really quick and easy colouring results. They are perfect for covering a multitude of mistakes. So even if I've chosen to use another medium, like my alcohol markers or my watercolours, I still always find that I touch up with acrylic markers, which is why out of all my colouring mediums, I would have chosen them. Up until now, I've definitely been an alcohol marker girly. I do still enjoy using my watercolours, and I do use them regularly, but not every single time I create, which is what this video is about. The acrylic markers, absolutely. And also, I do really enjoy mixed media. So that's maybe like a thrift flip or like creating artwork out of junk, things like that. These acrylic markers literally go over absolutely anything, and that is what is really good. So you can be working with your mixed media and know that even if things aren't quite working out or you want those final touches, acrylic markers will not let you down. So that is absolutely amazing. The third thing I love is these acrylic markers from Shuttle Art. I promise you they are different to the previous ones. I feel a little bit cheaty putting these in because these are a fairly recent purchase. I bought these in November, but honestly since then, every single time that I create, I use these. So why? Everything that I just said before, but, wait till you see the size of these things. So these are acrylic gel pens, and they have the tiniest nib. You can see that, a 0.6 nib with acrylic paint. It's just the most amazing invention. So especially for me, quite often, especially if you're colouring with acrylic markers, also if you're colouring with pencils, if you've got line work underneath, whether you've hand drawn that or whether you have stamped that, it can get a little bit lost, and you can kind of use your acrylic markers to bring that line work back. Also, the other thing that I am loving it for is there is this trend within the Colour Talk community. We did that a little bit in last week's video, where you alter the black line work into a colour that matches your colouring. So yeah, these, because of the detail that you can get, are absolutely incredible. So a very well deserved place on my top 5 list. The fourth thing on my list would be a craft stamp. I love stamping. I've probably been stamping for more years than I care to admit, and they definitely have become part of my essential art and craft toolkit because there's just so many things you can do with a stamp, and there's so many styles of stamps too. So I do love a background stamp. Get it in the camera. I do love a background stamp, something like this. It is absolutely perfect for adding layers, dimension, depth, interest to one of your art journal pages, or again, a mixed media project. And so I do reach for background stamps a lot. They create that interest in a really, really quick way, which is just fabulous. I also love imagery on stamps as well. So we've maybe got something like this. There we go, reflect it so you can see it. And that can become the main feature of a project. And there's such a wide variety of stamps by many, many different artists. Although I'm an artist myself, I just love the fact that I can quickly and easily replicate a piece of art. So sometimes that's my own, sometimes it's other people's. If you have not experienced stamps before, but you're maybe more familiar with colouring in, it's a similar idea. It's just the way that you get the image on the page is different. And also it's so versatile. You can stamp with black, but you can stamp with coloured inks. There's also techniques like embossing, and there's just so much you can do with a stamp. The list is literally endless. And as such, that just gives you plenty of options to experiment, to play, to try things, and which when it comes to art journaling is just amazing and really helps you to progress as a crafter and an artist. So that's why stamping definitely, and stamps definitely had to be in that list of my top 5 supplies that I genuinely reach for every single time that I create. So the last product I am going to use is definitely not the most glamorous or necessarily the most exciting, but probably one of your main essentials, and that is adhesive. So yes, I definitely need adhesive. My style of crafting is I do a lot of collage sort of type thing. I have bits and pieces in my bit box that I will put onto a page, or some of the stamped images that I've coloured then get added to a project, whether that be in my journal or on a mixed media project. So because of that, I am constantly in need of glue. I tend to use this one the most. This is the Tonic Nouveau glue. This is great for any form of paper crafting, and it's, you know, it's quick, it's easy, it's mess free, and I enjoy using it for that. However, some projects just require a little bit extra. So if you're creating a mixed media project that has got lots of elements and it's quite weighty, you want something that will, you know, hold anything to anything. And also this journal here that we mentioned earlier, I used a gel medium on. So gel medium is one of the most amazing products. It's a fantastic adhesive. It literally sticks anything to anything. But one of the things that makes gel medium just slightly unique is it does expand and contract with the moisture in the air. Because of that, you can genuinely know that it is going to stick and stay stuck. So sometimes you might have made a project and find things pop off, like that can happen, and that maybe happens more if you use a hot glue, but the ability for a gel medium to expand and contract is brilliant, and it adheres things permanently. So if I am using as I said, I'm making something a bit more mixed media, or something that is going to need an awful lot of use and abuse, then I would go for this. So those are my top 5 things. I hope you find them useful. What would be in your top 5? Please do let me know in the comments below, and I will be back again next Friday with a brand new video. Bye.